In this podcast episode, historian and podcaster Darryl Cooper joins Tucker Carlson to explore a range of complex historical topics, including the Israel-Palestine conflict, the Jonestown Cult, World War II, and the legacy of Winston Churchill. The conversation also delves into contemporary issues such as mass immigration in Europe, the civil rights movement, and Black Lives Matter, and the motivations of political figures like Viktor Orban, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump. The conversation begins with Cooper's extensive research into the Israel-Palestine conflict, particularly his 26-hour podcast series that explores the early history of Zionism. He emphasized the necessity of understanding historical context to grasp current events. Cooper notes that many people lack a comprehensive understanding of history, partly due to its inadequate teaching in schools and the prevalence of biased narratives in popular media. He expresses admiration for historians who approach their work with curiosity and honesty, contrasting them with those who manipulate history for political ends. Cooper's series received feedback from individuals on both sides of the conflict, indicating that it opened up perspectives and fostered understanding. He highlights the importance of recognizing the complexities of historical narratives, particularly in a conflict as fraught as the one between Israelis and Palestinians. By examining the motivations and experiences of both sides, Cooper aims to provide a more nuanced understanding of the conflict's origins and its ongoing implications. Transitioning to the topic of the Jonestown Cult, Cooper shares his insights from a lengthy series he produced on the subject. He describes the cult's origins, led by Jim Jones, who initially presented himself as a civil rights advocate, but ultimately descended into madness, leading to the tragic mass suicide of over 900 followers in Guyana. Cooper emphasizes the importance of understanding the psychological and social dynamics that allowed such a cult to flourish, noting that many members were drawn to the community out of a genuine desire for belonging and purpose. Cooper's research involved extensive reading and analysis of primary sources, including recordings of Jones's sermons and testimonies from survivors. He highlights the complexity of the individuals involved, arguing that many were not merely victims, but true believers who were caught up in a larger ideological movement. This exploration of the Jonestown tragedy serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of charismatic leadership and the susceptibility of individuals to manipulation in times of social upheaval. The discussion then shifts to World War II. Cooper argues that the war's legacy is often oversimplified, with narratives framing it as a clear-cut battle between good and evil. He contends that the complexities of the war, including the motivations of various actors, are frequently overlooked. His upcoming project aims to dissect these narratives, exploring the moral ambiguities and the consequences of decisions made during and after the war. He points out that the post-war order established by the victors has had lasting implications, particularly in how history is taught and understood. The Nuremberg trials, for instance, are often portrayed as a moral reckoning, but Cooper suggests that they also serve to solidify a particular narrative that absolved the victors of their own wartime actions. This selective memory, he argues, has contributed to a distorted understanding of history that continues to influence contemporary geopolitics. A significant portion of the conversation focuses on Winston Churchill, who is often celebrated as a hero of World War II. Cooper challenges this perception, arguing that Churchill's actions during the war and his post-war policies contributed to the degradation of Europe. He points out that Churchill's insistence on continuing the war, even when it was clear that the Germans were willing to negotiate peace, led to unnecessary suffering and destruction. Cooper posits that Churchill's legacy is complicated by his role in shaping the post-war order, which has had detrimental effects on European identity and cohesion. He suggests that Churchill's vision of a united Europe, while noble in intent, has resulted in a loss of national identity and autonomy for many European nations. Throughout the podcast, Cooper emphasizes the theme of historical revisionism and propaganda. He argues that history is often rewritten to serve contemporary political agendas, leading to a distorted understanding of past events. This manipulation of history is particularly evident in discussions surrounding World War II, where the victors' narratives dominate and alternative perspectives are marginalized. Cooper's insights highlight the importance of critically examining historical narratives and recognizing the motivations behind them. He encourages listeners to seek out diverse perspectives and engage with history in a way that acknowledges its complexities. By doing so, individuals can develop a more nuanced understanding of the past and its implications for the present. The conversation also touches on the issue of mass immigration in Europe, a topic that has become increasingly contentious in recent years. Cooper argues that the rapid demographic changes in European countries are not merely the result of natural migration patterns, but are often driven by political decisions made by elites who are disconnected from the realities faced by ordinary citizens. He points out that the consequences of mass immigration are felt most acutely in communities that are forced to adapt to rapid changes in their social fabric. Cooper expresses concern that the lack of meaningful dialogue about these issues has led to a growing sense of alienation and resentment among native populations. He emphasizes the need for honest discussions about immigration and its impact on national identity and cohesion. Cooper's analysis of historical narratives extends to the civil rights movement and the contemporary Black Lives Matter movement. He acknowledges the importance of the civil rights movement in advancing social justice, but also critiques the ways in which its legacy has been co-opted for political purposes. He argues that the BLM movement, while rooted in legitimate grievances, has sometimes been used to further divisive agendas that do not necessarily benefit the communities it claims to represent. Cooper's perspective encourages a more critical examination of social movements and their impact on society. He advocates for a nuanced understanding of the complexities involved in these struggles, recognizing that while progress has been made, there are still significant challenges to address. The discussion also includes reflections on contemporary political figures such as Viktor Orban, Vladimir Putin, and Donald Trump. Cooper notes that these leaders, while often portrayed as authoritarian or right-wing, are primarily motivated by a desire to protect their national interests and preserve their cultural identities. He argues that their approaches to governance reflect a broader trend of nationalism that is emerging in response to globalization and mass immigration. Cooper's analysis of these leaders highlights the importance of understanding the context in which they operate. He suggests that their actions should be viewed through the lens of their respective national histories and the challenges they face in a rapidly changing world. By doing so, individuals can develop a more nuanced understanding of contemporary politics and the forces shaping our societies. The conversation concludes with a discussion of Christianity and its role in shaping Western civilization. Cooper emphasizes the importance of understanding the historical context of religious beliefs and practices, arguing that Christianity has played a significant role in promoting values such as compassion, forgiveness, and community. He contrasts these values with the more transactional nature of contemporary political discourse, suggesting that a return to these foundational principles could help address some of the challenges facing society today. Finally, Cooper addresses the theme of hate and its capacity to blind individuals to the complexities of human experience. He cautions against allowing hatred to dictate one's perspective, arguing that it can lead to a distorted understanding of history and a failure to recognize the humanity of others. By fostering empathy and understanding, individuals can break free from the cycle of hatred and contribute to a more just and equitable society.